In this lesson, we'll be talking about physical therapy. Now, physical therapy and occupational therapy often go hand in hand. Oftentimes, both physical and occupational therapies can be received at the same location and sometimes even by the same therapist. Our son received both occupational and physical therapy at the same location and by the same person. There were a few times that a separate physical therapist would meet with our son for muscle strengthening. However, most of his physical therapy care came from the occupational therapist. It really depends on your child's unique needs and also the site where your child will receive his or her therapy care. When it comes to physical therapy, common struggles with children with autism include struggles with coordination and posture control. Our son had both. In therapy sessions to help with our son's coordination, our son went in a room with his therapist that contained a lot of different ropes. Think of a very small version of a ropes course that was inside of an athletic building. Our son had to pull on the ropes, to sit on the ropes, to use the ropes to move objects up and down, and all sorts of other activities. To him, this just seemed like gym class or activity time. However, these were special activities designed to help develop his muscle and improve his coordination and gross motor skills. Physical therapists are in a unique position to help children with autism. They work with them to help develop gross motor and basic movement skills. These skills are then used to help them with their overall life skills and development. Physical therapists are movement experts. They improve quality of life through hands-on care, patient education, and prescribed movement. So what these therapists do is pretty important. Another thing that our son received when he was going to physical therapy was a special massage therapy for kids with autism. When our son was going to therapy, he was just starting the early stages of puberty, and his sensory issues were on overload all the time. He had a very hard time getting through his school day. So by the time I brought him to his OT and PT, his occupational therapy and physical therapy, sessions after school, he was done for the day. For his PT, the therapist would sit him down and do a special massage on his arms, shoulders, fingers, and even on his scalp. At first, you would see him visibly resist the touch and the massages. He didn't like to be touched. His face would be pale, his eyes would be shifty. He didn't like the feeling of what was happening to his body. He would barely respond to his therapist when she would talk to him. However, after only a few minutes into the massage, you would see his body completely change. He would stop fidgeting, his muscles and his body visibly relaxed. He would even start talking to his therapist instead of giving one-word answers and avoiding eye contact. I watched this process happen over and over again and saw the visible change that happened each time. It was really wild. The massage therapy technique that our son's PT would perform on him would help his body go from stressed to relaxed. Now for the posture issue. Our son still has horrible posture. He's just shy of 6 foot tall now, and he has a hard time standing with his shoulders back. We did have him see a chiropractor regularly for quite a while. However, he really did not like the adjustments, and even as he got older, he described them as painful. So that was just something we let go of. Letting go of something is okay. Not everything in life is going to be perfect. There are problems that you do not have to solve. There are things that you can choose not to change, and that is okay. It's okay as long as it's not hurting your child or hurting anyone else. Don't strive for perfect. Perfect is not attainable and will only wear you out. Choose which things are important for you to see improvement on and work towards those goals. Now, as we end this time together, continue to think on, number 1, how will therapy benefit your child? Number 2, in what ways would physical therapy help your child in areas that are currently weak? And number 3, this might also be a good time to think about what your lifelong goals are for your child. If you want your child to be able to live independently someday, what skills is your child going to need to be able to accomplish that? I know that's a lot to think about, but every small step that you take leads to a more successful future for your child. So think on those things today.